We back to it. Let's go. Fur, 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 fur. No. Oh, ouch. All right, let's get to it. Because I got a lot of stuff to do. I got a lot of stuff, and I got 2 more projects that I want to get going before the end of the week. This being one of them. This being the next one, and hopefully I can finish this painting tonight so that I can start this one tomorrow. And I'm going to recreate this image of X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 207 by John Romita Jr. on artboard. I already have this image squared up, gridded up, which is why this here is. I have it enlarged a bit, so it's going to be a bit bigger. I'm going to do this. I'm going to use the grid to get my shapes in, and then I'm going to draw the rest of it in my own style and paint it in my own style, keeping the color scheme. I tell you what, man, I don't know what it is about this painting, but these colors, this dark orange, I love that color. Love it. Anyway, let's get cracking. That's Spider-Man. See if we can get some energy going this week. The beginning of the week. What are we doing today? I'm going to do a little bit more tidying up on her face. Maybe, maybe not. I want to start his face. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start his face. He's going to be flesh tone and a cold blue here so that it can be the tonal opposite of Dick Tracy. She's going to stay the same. I'm thinking of keeping her eyes that white. I think they're beautiful that way. I gotta do his hand, and I'm gonna add this blue to the background. So why don't we just do that right now while we're here. My palette, it's a bit dry, a bit dirty, but we gonna use it. So one thing I love about gouache. So let's just go. No talking. If you guys jump on and make sure you say what's up, let's get it. And if you guys have any questions on the process, please do not hesitate. Do not hesitate and shout them out. I'm trying to see both my, see a little bit of everything there. Making sure I can see my chat window. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, here we go. My room is really dry, so let's just go. No more excuses, let's just make it happen. And I decided to go ahead and grab my Hemi. Most of this stuff is most of this stuff is done using Arteza. But I want to move along, so I'm going to grab my jellies. And I'm okay that they're getting dirty. I think it's time for me to graduate and grab some colors, some different paints. I don't like what I just did there. And I don't know if this music fits the theme, but that's okay. We don't care. I want that blue to carry on. The trouble I'm having is there's a lot of glare on my canvas there, this paper. This is Bristol board that's been treated with clear gesso. Smooth clear gesso at that, so it leaves a really shiny texture. So I'm using the gouache to subdue that a bit. But yeah, we chilling. Are we bumping? Might be too loud. I like that subdued blue there a bit better than it was earlier. But I might keep adding to it. Anyway. All right. Pearly P 9898. You have to go to sleep, but this is very pretty. Well, sleep well, rest well. Hope you had a fantastic day. Thank you for swinging through and saying that. I really appreciate that. Like, I really do. You could have just went to bed. But the sentiment is not lost. So thank you. And good night. Thank you. Dedipia M8K. I'll call you Dedipia. How are you? And thank you for the compliment. Appreciate that. And can you hear me okay? Dedipia? Is that how you would say? Dedipia? Dedipia. Hello and welcome. It's good to see you. Alright, I think we're alright here. That seems to be okay. I might add some darker blue just to get a better transition here. Okay. Yeah, I tend to move a lot. I try to have the microphone in my face. So hopefully you can hear me okay. Okay. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher your name. I apologize. So Raghavendra, Raghavendra. No, it's not from a movie. Just painting characters. But if you did recognize them, it would be from Dick Tracy. He's a comic character that was created in the 1930s, but there was a movie made in 1990 with Warren Beatty and Madonna and Al Pacino. So this is just a my interpretation of what a book cover would be of these characters. That's all. I'm spending way too much time on this deep shadows. I'm gonna start painting big boy here. Yeah, he was a detective. He was a mob boss. That's Big Boy Capri, and she was kind of like a damsel, but she wasn't always good. She wasn't always bad. She was just kind of a very intriguing character by the name of Breathless Mahoney. I don't know who she was modeled after in the 1930s. I know that in later iterations they kind of modeled her after Marilyn Monroe. I didn't model her after Madonna in this drawing. The only person or character in here that I used reference for was for Big Boy. DDP, I'm gonna ask you to keep it cordial. Okay? If not, you can go and do something somewhere else. She looks like Dior. I don't know what that is. It's like the... Who's doing Dior now? Charlize Theron? Is that what you mean? That Dior? Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start using that same blue for Big Boy. What color is that? Okay. Like I said, if you keep the conversation cordial and respectful, you can ask whatever. I would recommend not to be asked anything personal. And if that's not something that you're willing to do, like I said, go somewhere else. And I don't mean to be rude or crass. I'm just being honest. But you can ask me anything about the artwork. We'll do that. That'll be better for me. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Thank you for the subscribe. I appreciate that dearly. I have been drawing for a long time. A very long time. Maybe 30, a little over 30 years. I might have to switch a brush because starting out just drawing comic strips, from comic strips, not my own, and then from comic books, and then just from movies, stuff like that. How many years I have in drawing? Yeah, about that. About a little over 30 years. I've been doing this for a long time. LPS time. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I don't know why people don't support me either. It's all right. There's so many artists. It doesn't make me feel any type of way, honestly. Honestly. I still enjoy what I do. For years, I used to do this type of artwork just for me, for myself. So I've just recently been trying to share my artwork within the last 5-10 years. So just consider me a young YouTuber. That's all. Like it doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, there's so many amazing artists that it is what it is. That's loaded question. So it's usually just more about emotion, or right? With something like this, it's usually a study. I'm trying to I'm trying to create a nostalgic feel. I've been studying a lot of pulp art, pulp covers, which came out very in the 30s and 40s. Some of the what would consider some of the more old school painters, not traditional painters in the sense of like Michelangelo or Raphael, even though I love those artists for many reasons. But right now, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to tell stories in my artwork. Have someone get a memory or an emotion or something like that. Not all of them. Sometimes it's just to mess around, so. Alright, what are we doing here? I don't know how far I want to go with this dude's painting. I mean, his face, I meant. I can dig that. Uh, I'll be frank, even I do drawing, but you aren't that good. But it's like you're escaping reality when you draw. It's just you and your creation, and it never judges. I can dig that. I was what I would call myself an introvert artist. Not that I was shy, but I just like being by myself. So a lot of this stuff would be, for me, a comfort, just like you mentioned. So I understand that very much. way for me to, like you said, something to just be in my own head, and that's it, really. Yeah, I don't mind if you keep talking. But I hear you. It's whatever helps you cope, as long as you're not doing anything to hurt yourself. I don't, you know, or others. I know some. We all go through things that seem very overwhelming. So I'm gonna have to add some blue to this because it's just a little. If you're a painter or an artist, you gotta know that shadows aren't just a darker version of that color. So if I'm using a skin tone or a peachy skin tone, you gotta add a bit of blues or purples, even sometimes green, to make the shadows a bit richer. Ha! I didn't actually. It wasn't going to be. Yeah, I'll show you what I did with it. I didn't. I wasn't planning to do all the way. It was just more of a study and just kind of like a hangout with the viewers, which I'll be doing more often or more. I want to do more of that. So if you're an artist, it's one of those situations where I would love for you to grab a sketchbook and paint and draw with me, just to mess around and hang out. That's what that was for. Where is it? But it wasn't anything that I was going to intentionally like. Oh, I put too much white in here. To make a complete finished piece, if that makes sense. And it's a good way to fill up your sketchbook. Where is my sketchbook? Okay. While that dries a bit. I like that the way that's coming out already. Yeah, so it stayed in pencil. So here, I'll show you. No, Colossus, they're in the tunnels, Kitty Pryde. I didn't finish it. I kind of tweaked the face, but I don't know if I will finish it. I kind of like the way it looks. I kind of like the way of just being able to just put an idea on paper. You know, not everything has to be finished. You know, some of those studies are for you to get better, to generate ideas. And to see what'll work and what might not work. So that probably won't be finished in my sketchbook, but it might be something that I use for another painting, another composition. And that's okay. I got a ton of pieces that are unfinished. And they belong in a sketchbook. They don't belong anywhere else. I think I kind of lost my way with this dude's face. The last face that I did was hers, and I was doing a lot of smoothing textures on it, and it kind of got stuck in my muscle memory. But I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more looser and allow for more varied brush strokes. But it's very early here and still in the process. James Bond in this style would be pretty cool. I'm gonna have to steal your idea. I'm kidding. Yeah, that's coming up pretty good. One second as I go through the chat here. I know 4 or 5 of my drawings are halfway unfinished. Yeah, I got a ton that are unfinished. That's what the sketchbooks are for. Whenever you look at it, be like, okay, later I'm lazy to come. Yeah, at this point you might as well just let them be. They've served their purpose. You really love the comic book old school style you're going for. I wanted to draw James Bond in that style with alcohol markers. You could do that with alcohol markers. The process might be a little bit different, but it's absolutely doable. The time here is 4:30 p.m. You want to use this as a reference to your drawing? You could do that. I think that if you might even be able to see my pencil drawing of this. What am I thinking about? What's up, Saboteur? How you doing, man? Try not to give Big Boy such smooth skin. Living the life, working, yeah, bro. Must be nice. No, I'm kidding. I'm envious. Yeah, brother. Yeah, I'm trying to plow through this painting here. Um, Self-imposed deadlines, you know. And when you have to be your own editor and production manager and all of these things and social media crew and film director and everything. The producers are yelling at me to get this thing done because I have a few other paintings I have to draw and sketch and start. There's something cool about that face, though, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not an egotist, I swear, I promise you. But sometimes you have to toot your own horn, man. God dang it. My my drawing chair, my my desk chair broke. One of the wheels came off because I'm skinny fat, and I'm using this cheap Walmart chair that doesn't have enough booty, bro, for support. Got me dancing. All right, what was my color? And everything is dry, man. Drier than a camel's cough. I feel yeah. I got to begin the deadline for myself. You got to, bro. I'm trying to. I be feeling the stuff you guys be putting down. If you feel it, I hear you, man. But you gotta. Okay, one second here. No, please. So this is a little odd by asking, but as a teen, I clearly don't get why people avoid me in my whole class. Though physically visible people ignore me, I had that happen to you. I don't understand the question. As a teenager, you clearly don't get why people avoid you in your class. Though physically visible people ignore me, and has that happened to you? Yes and no. I was short growing up. So, if people saw me, it was to be bullies. I can't stand bullies. Um, Again, that's why a lot of my stuff was. I was an introvert. Um, but you know, you have to be careful with the type of attention that you are looking for. That's all I'm going to say. And you shouldn't have to change who you are. You was a bully? I can see that. I can see that, Seb. Unless you're saying you was bullied. Then I take that back. So because I was short, I was bullied a lot, but then, oh, you can draw something for me. That used to be my way into, to people's endearment. Which made me resent them a lot. Which, when the stuff that you enjoy, you really can't enjoy it because you're using it because you don't want people to whip you. So I used to just stay by myself. I had very few friends, and the ones I've had were really close and good. It was just later in life, turned into assholes. So the deep here is being seen by those people. 1 second. A freaking rocket being launched in the background. Is it that important for you? Is it because you want to be seen? It's just different. Yeah, that was my Roomba. I don't want to be seen. I just want to feel the earth, the proper joy others feel. Uh, the yin yang. Uh, those things will come in time, I'm assuming. I'm going to say that, yeah, all right. I would be careful the type of stuff that you're trying, that are grabbing your attention. I wouldn't pay so much attention to how other people are experiencing their lives, because you don't know, some of it is BS. First of all, I could be here spitting happy, doing all this other stuff, and you'll never know what's really going on behind the curtain, right? So don't worry about what people's appearance, or not their appearance, but what their outward appearance is. You have to worry about you. Do what you want and like. As long, like I said as earlier, as long as it's not gonna hurt you or hurt somebody else, then it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. And you gotta find that peace within you. That's all I'm gonna say. My boy Landon, Hubert Studios. What is the secret to the magic of comics? The secret? I don't. The secret of magic. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. What is the secret to the magic of comic books? What is the secret? I think there has to be a level of belief from the creator, the writer, the artist, right? Of a level of disbelief, I guess I should say. The stuff has to, if you're trying to be funny, it has to make you laugh. If it's scary that you're trying to do, it should give you some form of a fright, that type of stuff. I think the magic is in what you put into it, right? If for instance, right, for your apostrophe, your punctuation, man, the apostrophe, if it wasn't funny for you writing it, if you're just trying to be canned, then the person reading is gonna be like, well, this ain't funny, you know. And everything is subjective, but you know what I'm saying. I think that if somebody can feel the heart of what's happening, that's where the magic's at. I think, dude, I don't know. I never made comics. I was reading recently some X-Men books, man, and a lot of it is, as a grown man, as I am now, it's angsty teenage stuff. Right? How does that relate? Who are these books written for? Why is it that the X-Men are so prevalent with grown-ass dudes when it was written for angsty teenage girls? If you think about how the X-Men is written, look at Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde is the voice of the X-Men for years. She's one of the coolest freaking characters in there as an adult. Not the movie versions, but the comic version. She challenges everybody. Everybody. And that's a tribute to Chris Claremont. So I don't know, brother. That's a loaded question and a half, man. I love it. But there's got to be some truth. And I don't mean like if it's a horror, there's some truth to it. But there's got to be something in there. Right? It's got to be fun also. Even the horror stuff. Got to be fun. I don't know, man. You got me. That's great. Oh, can we give a R.I.P. to, may rest in peace to Glenn Ordway? I was just reading. Come on, man. Jerry Glenn. I call him Glenn Ordway. Glenn Ordway because I grew up in Boston, and Glenn Ordway is Sports personality. I'm dying. Jerry Ordway, writer creator of Punisher and more. He passed away. That's hard though, Langdon, brother. I hear you. I appreciate the question, man. Uh, I really do. Um, it's the belief, man. Rob Norton. I've been promoting this dude's book. I'm not. I don't get any royalties for this. Um, he did a 6-volume Masters of the Universe fan comic, and rough around some of the edges. The story's amazing. His love for the characters showed. It's amazing. It's amazing that it's so good that you can look past whatever shortcomings we as creators will point at. You know, I think we stopped being acceptance of people's because we're so jaded. We've seen so much in terms of comics. Deaths don't mean anything anymore in comics. And he wrote a book with He-Man characters, and there's death, there's love, there's redemptions, things that mean stuff. I love those books, man. All right, let me go back to this chat real quick. Do, 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 do. What is the secret to the magic? Well, as far as I've spoken to you, you either are very lonely or a person who hasn't faced anything but knows everything. I'm just laughing because that's so off cue. Okay. And what you say? You was like 14? Okay. Um, well, you're the kind of person who knows everything, knows how to avoid an issue, but yet can't do it. I wonder why. Okay. I'm not going to share too much. All I'm going to say is this. My experiences are none of your concern. They're my own. My experiences are the reason why I draw stuff like this. That either nobody knows or nobody's seen or kind of in an era that doesn't exist. Because they're mine and my own. Yours are your own. I'm going to leave it there. You could take it. You could do with it with whatever you want. Rag and Vendra, that's a good way to see it. Personally, I feel dynamic poses make the artwork look so much better. Like when there's a lot going on. Yes, I want to show you something. So, Raghavendra, right? I love pulp. I've said it so many times already. This during the stream. So these are the type of things that I've been studying lately. Old stuff from the 1920s to the 1960s. Some of these images are very simplistic in composition, right? Um, but they're very dynamic in terms of color, right? They focus more on compositional color to draw your eye. All of these things were created so that as you're walking through, that color pulls your eye and you go towards it. And then, because this is the only image that was present for those books, and then it was a novelization inside. Anyway. This is a little bit further along, but look at this, man. Look at all the stuff that's going on in that image alone. I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's amazing. This artist here was all about those type of intricacies. So I hear you. So I have a habit. I have a habit of drawing singular characters, a singular scene, whatever. So that's why these type of things, putting two on the page, 3, an action scene, Hulk and Wolverine, just whatever it is. But that action sequence, those things is what I would love to do and show and share. So, isn't it, bro? Landon, isn't it? Raghavendra. It's the dude is crazy. That's Mort Kunstler. I am going to use the same color for his hair. What color is that? It's dark. I don't know if this is going to work. I forgot his ear. I'm gonna go back with the black because I know he has black hair, but I'm gonna use this as a way to layer some highlights. Yeah, man. So for the last 2 years, I think, or the year and a half, all I've been doing is looking at pulp covers. That's not the only thing, but it has been propelling me in that direction. Yeah, when I first started painting for realsies, I was looking at a lot of Leyendecker. And when I got up there, and Anders Zorn, and Soroya, and although I love portraits, and I look forward to doing some of those with you guys. It's those pulp covers, man. Those pulp artists are like, they speak to me. Well, that's cool. Yeah, man. I do too. I do too. I want to do more of those. And I'm gonna have to, because I am working on and will be working on my own short stories and my own comics, so I have to. How long you been drawing this from? This painting? I've been doing this. This is my fourth session. I can't remember. But I found that because I've spent years doing this type of singular image pinup work or cover style artwork, mostly pinups and singular images, I need a lot of work and practice to do sequential art, comic book art. But when you do something you love, you're gonna keep doing it. Yeah. Well, Langdon, I started painting so that I can paint over my comic book style art. I'm not a, what's the word I'm looking for? A born painter. Does that even make sense? I've only started using gouache 3 years. I'll show you some of my my comic art. It looks like the majority of my streams end up devolving into kind of like show and tell, which I don't mind. It'll give me a chance to have this dry. I want a big boy to look like he's rocking a comb over. I don't remember. I don't have the reference in front of me. I'm winging this piece here. I really don't at this point. I'm just following along here. The reference here. Do you use Pinterest for references or just comics? Also, you said this one's your take, so you're just doing this from imagination. Yeah, the composition, honestly. So yes, I use Pinterest. I use Google. I have tons of books. I have my peoples here, my models, my figurines. But yes, this composition, honestly, is not very. I don't want to downplay it, but it's not the most difficult composition. It's 3 portraits, which I've done hundreds of times. Caricature of a dude, so I don't really have to adhere to a caricature. I did use Al Pacino in heavy makeup. This figure, I think I may have used Pinterest, but it was like I knew I was going to use Madonna. I think actually you did use Madonna in one of her images, but I didn't want it to look just like her. Back pain. Yes, back pain. Langdon, thank you, man. Here, I'm gonna let his hair dry. Let me grab something real quick. I'm gonna move some stuff over just so I can show you guys a little bit some of my work while this dries. How long have I been here? An hour. And I'll be kind of quick with the show and tell just because I really want to get this thing done. But just because I don't want to, you guys feel like not misled, or if I said something that you guys are like bullshit, I just want to be able to, in this day and age of every artist having to prove that he actually what he's done or doing. So the two things that you hate the most as an artist are you can barely see where a particular art material is, and become worse than a blind person finding those, and back pain. Yeah. Back pain is no joke. That one I'll agree with. Let me scooch this over. So, this is a mix of my watercolors and my gouache paintings. When I first started to do it, I found it difficult to find subject matter in training videos or whatever it is. So instead, I drew Dragon Ball Z. Have I heard of Berserk? Absolutely here. How about Guts? And I find it very difficult. Drawing anime style unless I'm searching. So this was my version of Berserk, just looking at certain references from the books that I can find, and Americanized version, a Western version. All right, I'll skim through these real quick, because what I'll do is I'll pick a day if you guys want, and we'll go through a bunch of this stuff. So this is how I started, really trying to get comfortable with just straight copying Toriyama's artwork. And it wasn't just his, but it just made it really fun to learn watercolor, especially when you start drawing stuff that you really love. All right, let me move to the back. This is more the stuff, my style and my studies. No reference. I think actually, no reference. Using the Riley with a mix of Loomis on the head. Obviously, some reference. You guys should know who that is. Some reference here. What I like to do is if I see something, I just want to, whatever calls to me. This image here, I think it was the dude's deep wrinkles and his perfectly round spectacles. And I was in a beard phase. I can't grow a beard to save my life, so Kratos and that cowboy was a what's the word I'm looking for? I lived vicariously through those drawings. Some more watercolor. This is when I was starting to get a little bit loose, drawing in my own style. Oh, She-Hulk, that's me. She's crushing. But this body is using reference from a fashion magazine. It was selling this skirt, and I love the pose. Just made her muscular and green and called it She-Hulk. That's what you should be doing with your references. This one is part of the same fashion magazine. This face is my own. And I was following MMMOX? MMM? A Korean YouTube artist that is amazing, and he doesn't speak English. His videos are in subtitles, and I was following those and how to paint watercolor. Great stuff. If I get MMNOX, I think I can't. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But if you know, you know. This is my jam here, though. I love pencil artwork. You guys should know. Maybe I don't know if you young cats from India will know, but it's Uncle Fester. These two portraits took over 10 hours to do, and this isn't very big. These are the best portraits I've ever done, which is why I haven't done many after. And I did this one first, and then this one on the second day, and I was really when I tell you, you have to kind of like shut your brain off, because I was already skeptical that I can match the level. I do have no videos of these, but on my Instagram you may have to go through years. I did these in 22. And I tell you, for real, there was times where I was really down with my artwork and the lack of financial returns, that these were my going away artwork. These were my I'm quitting, so I'm just gonna draw my ass off and call it. I'm done. I can't do this no more. I can't. I am not paying any bills. Nobody's really giving a crap, which is a very, very terrible thing to put yourself through. I'm glad I didn't. But these were those. And I keep them there. I'll never get rid of them because of that. This Mr. Bean is funny, but it's not quite Rowan Atkins, and that's not quite Rodney Dangerfield. But where my old head's at, you guys know. So as you can see, my priorities were more in cartoonish realism, some caricatures, some pin-up stuff, some this is a funny image, covers, whatever I can do to get you in, and then somebody else will do the books. My wife and I have been together for a million years, so I jokingly say that this was us when we was younger. We didn't know each other when we was this young. We probably bumped into each other. But yeah, I thought that was a funny caricature of us. I love that dude's face. And yeah, these are some of my gouaches. This is May of last year. Wow. These are using reference in a little bit of reference in Pinterest, and just kind of like doing my own thing. I do have prints of these, guys. If there's anything in here you see, you may be able to catch some of this in my Etsy store. Go to my Ko-fi. I'm gonna start doing more art drops and selling my stuff. I no longer want to keep some of this stuff to myself. I need to put it out in the world. But this was kind of like this was a year into my training, my gouache training, where I said, I think I'm onto something for real. Even though there's some other stuff, but there was things in here, and this is the beginning of me using clear gesso. This is regular mixed media paper from Walmart, and I used clear gesso and fixative. I think I used I drew him first, so with him it was fixative. I can't remember. My video's up. If you guys want to check that out, I have the video on how I did that. Langdon, you'll laugh at this, buddy, because Landon, this is my Bruce Lee that looks like Manny Pacquiao. This one makes me laugh. Some dude, I shared this, and he put in the comments, terrible, which is obviously is just terrible in Spanish. Thank you, man. And I have some here. I have my latest watercolors in here, so you'll see where I finished in my watercolors before I said I think I want to go into gouache. This is gouache. This is gouache. This is one of my favorites, turtles. I love the turtles. I'll be doing stuff with the turtles till the cows come home. Dedipia, thank you for coming through. I really appreciate it. Next time, keep all the personal questions to yourself. I hope you stay safe. God bless you. And have a great rest of your evening. This is also one of my favorites. I'm going to do a shredder, a dark shredder, to mirror this. I have the idea, I have the composition. I just don't know if I'm going to do it on black media paper or on black canvas, because it's going to be mainly in black. But I really want to paint, so I think I might want to just grab maybe an artboard, something big, 16 by 20. That one, dude. I can't wait. 2024? August 2024? I just, I know it's two different styles, but I think the progression is pretty good. No blending. Very stiff brush strokes, but it worked. I didn't know how to really blend. This was almost a year apart, that splinter and the shredder. Hey, Landon, if you want to switch over to the horizontal stream, I don't know if you're confined to the phone or to the vertical, but if you want to check that out, you can jump over and be able to see the whole table. The whole table. Actually, I'm being selfish just so that I won't have to keep rocking the baby. So if you want to help a brother out, and I appreciate it. This was my very first video in gouache. This Wolverine. Again, not a lot of brushes, not a lot of blending. Single, you could begin to see my pattern is strong. Single character. This is how you learn, though, right? You don't put that much pressure on yourself. This is me attempting to do portrait. I actually like this. I forget his name. Gouache as the Riddler from Batman 64. And my version of the Riddler. Here you go. Here's my comic art here. My most recent. These are all from 2025. Gotcha. Yeah, Landon, I stream both on horizontal and vertical. That's why. But yeah, whatever is comfortable. I have the Phoenix Omnibus. Looking at John Burns artwork, bruh. I mean, how can you go wrong? Studying my Mazzucchelli. This piece I actually grabbed from. I have the artist edition, the small artist edition of Born Again. I think that's Born Again. I did it for the fire. I should have, in hindsight, I should have kept the eyes white. I don't like the red in the eyes, but or maybe even orange to reflect the fire. I can still do it. Gouache, let me do it. Sorry for the glare. I'm trying to. There you go. I appreciate it. Let the horizontal cats catch the odd view. Nah, I'm kidding. I'll give him the ones on the right. We'll get them both. They get the one on the right. So, these are my final watercolors, and it's so simple. It was just being able to control the tone. These are my final watercolors here. Jubei from Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D. I can't recall where I got this reference from, but I know it's from the original artist. I didn't do him any justice in the face in that end, but this is directly from the DVD screenshot. I added the blood. He didn't have any in the blood in the scene. I would like to, because I know I won't be able to paint or all of my pages. One or two watercolor pages, or maybe even a gouache, and then do like how they do on mangas, finish the rest of the story in black and white. I love this piece. I have a piece Frank Miller drew. I'm going to redo it. This one here. I think it'll be I think it'll be a really good companion piece to my my eat shit. All right. This will be the last book I show. Some of the last drawings I did. Afro Samurai. The Fantastic Four. And you saw these. The Hulk. And one of my first streams this year was of this my reinterpretation of, I'm sorry for the glare, Hulk versus Wolverine. Wolverine's first appearance. Out of all of it, that right there is my jam. I'll take that fire with me anywhere. Oh yeah, there you go. Not that one. Little Naruto and Macho Man. I love this. So different. I love this, man. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can tell. I tried to have a lot of fun with the stuff that I do. And this little sneak peek because I really want to get back to my sneak peek to my comic. And so the hey Tim, how are you? Thank you and hello. I was letting some piece dry, that Dick Tracy painting dry, and went into a quick show and tell. And Tim, I have to find a way to put those out into the world, man. Let them breathe. Here, some sequential artwork. So Landon, the stuff that I was, what was slowing me down is that I wanted every page to look like a work of art, basically. Right? We all do. But it was making my progress super slow. You know what, kid? Landon, that's the answer to your question right there. The secret of the magic of the secret. It has to be. So I was taking too much to just try to get my ideas on paper. So it really slowed me down, and it became a bit discouraging, but I'm glad I kept this, because I will be finishing this stuff. I know it's difficult to read in here, but yeah, I'll give you a quick story. This will be the... Yes, sir. I have to. And I'm going to work a little bit smaller so I can do it. And I appreciate Saboteur there for giving me those guides. Late night in a seedy part of town. The bartender. This is a bar. Middle of the night. It's Christmas Eve. He wants to go home. He is... the name of the story is called Last Call. He is out for last call. These are thugs and miscreants, and the main thug's like, no it ain't. No it ain't. Keep pouring the drinks. And our bartender's like, but I want to go home to my family. And the main thug says, what, we're not your family? And it'll pan to all the group of, squared nose, unibrow bad guys. And he gives them the death stare. Just keep pouring the drinks. Capiche? And he gives him a little pinch on the cheek. Slaps him in the face. Because he's a bad guy. So our barkeep. Oh man, I got him out of sequence. I didn't think I did. So, that's just the beginning. There's a lot of craziness going on here. I'm gonna have to get... So what I ended up doing instead is, because I was getting frustrated with the process and the build up, that I just started doing pinups. See, I never thought of it like that, Landon. That's pretty dope. It's one long piece or one long sequence, so I have to treat them that way. Yeah, so I have it all kind of like mapped out. I have the story mapped out pretty well. My heroes. That's the bad guy. You guys might recognize him. He's the guy now that sells Scott's lawn care. That was the reference I used. All right. Let's get to this. It is warm in here. Okay, where was I? I like that face. I like how cold. Can I show you guys how cool that face came out? Sorry, I don't. Like I said, I'm not a. I'm not an egotist, but I gotta appreciate art, even if it's mine. That blend came out pretty good. All right, hold on. Let me read this dude's because I appreciate. Saboteur says, yes, Mellow, work small, make it as fast as possible to see how your story unfolds. You see how bad your thumbs up. Listen, dude, your thumbnails are fantastic. Landon says, so I went through the same thing with comics. Comics need to be seen as a page in a way. They're not separate illustrations. They're a page. When you add the boxes and multiple action, it adds more information. So you have to keep the overall panel layout in mind, give it space to breathe, detail on what's important or where you want to focus, but less information on what's not. Yes. Yes. So imagine, if you will, when I was putting my stuff together, everything is in focus. Like my camera, my mental camera had everything in focus. There was nobody blurred. There's nobody in the background. They were all sharing the same plane, and it became really busy no matter how simple the story was. So I hear you both. Very I hear exactly what you guys are saying, and it's because it's not something that I normally do. I did not know how to cope with the disappointment, right? With the challenge. I didn't know how to cope with it. So, but I didn't get so frustrated to quit. I promise you guys that much. I just knew well enough to go, you need to step away for a hot second. Because you're going to hate it. Or you're going to hate yourself if you ruin it. Or, you know what I'm saying? I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's kind of, and that's kind of like the whole process of any painting or piece of art. The noodling, when something is a lot more difficult than you expect or was expecting. All of a sudden, this brush wants to be a pain. I don't know what's happening. We was doing all right. Now everything is terrible quality. And nothing's changed. Of course. Oh, thanks, Landon. I appreciate that. And I don't laugh at what you're saying. It's just the way I compartmentalize. But I appreciate that. And I do too. I'm having a ton of fun doing what I'm doing right now. So I can't wait to add to the next piece. Thanks, man. Like I want to, for me mostly, I want to elevate what I do. Um, and I know I'm not gonna be that guy that he's the one that's gonna elevate comic book art to be. I know that I'm not that ignorant. But it's more about what I want to do. I gotta take care of what I want to do, man, and share it. I let my paints dry up too much. Now it's gonna be a pain to try to get any type of pigment, but I think we're gonna be all right. I want that dark. And then my next two pieces are just gonna be straight up comic book pieces. I'm doing where is my brush? Where is my brush? I'm gonna be painting this. For this local comic book shop. I'll be doing this. I wanted to finish this today, so if I don't, I'll probably try to finish this one tomorrow and then just start this one in the evening. And then I'm going to redo this cover. I'm going to draw it in my style and paint it. But I did have it on a grid, and I'm going to share it. So when I do it on live, I'll have the image available on screen. So if anybody wants to draw along, they can do so. I'm going to use a grid system just so that I can get the proportions so they can fit on the page on my artboard. And once I get the proportions kind of locked down, I'm just going to go bananas and have a bit of fun. But I wanted it to be as identical, but not exact as possible, if that makes sense. Because I'm actually going to put that up for sale so that it can generate attention for the rest of the pieces. But yeah, I haven't had this much fun doing the stuff that I've been doing lately. And all the hours getting put into the studio. My studio, where I work from home. I know it's going to pay off. Just a matter of time. this really is annoying. How dry my room is. But it could just be that I need to refresh my paints, but you could just kind of tell how dry everything is. I just spritz it. Terrible example of trying to prove my point. And I'm going to use Arteza metallic paints to add a little bit more shine here. I might use it for her eyes. That gun is bothering me, so why don't I work on this gun, this metal. I didn't do a very good job so I'm going to steal this gun. I think I like the shading in this gun here. So I'm going to do my best to steal that one. Like my boy Tank says, if you ain't stealing, you ain't trying. Something like that. Tank Ferret, another amazing YouTuber and artist. If you get an opportunity, go check out his page. He does a lot more than just draw and paint. This dude's creating board games. He's dropping music. So there's a lot of glare, but that's okay. Come on, man. Everything is so dry. Okay. It seems like our bit rate picked up. Anybody working on anything? Or you guys just hanging out and drawing? Anybody drawing with me? Painting with me? What's happening? What are you guys doing? It's time for me to be nosy. That one works best because the shading is on the bottom. All right, let's see. My son came down earlier, one of my boys, and he goes, I'm like, I gotta redo the gun because it just doesn't look right, so I'm going to use this book as reference. He's like, why don't you just give reference for a gun? I'm like, I got a reference right here, man. You're working on punctuation, man, number 2. So can I ask you, Landon, the book you're working on is something that you're picking up? Is something that you're picking up from where you left off? So you only did one issue and you're continuing the process? And I only ask because in case there's anybody that's watching that might get some interest. So let the people know. awaken this black. This thing is annoying. Sometimes you take off paint, and sometimes you add paint. And it looks like I had white on my brush. You did one issue years ago, but yes, I'm picking up the process now, working on issue 2. Yes, I saw that you have over 150. I'm gonna grab some. I'm gonna go to eBay and snatch some up. Yeah, man, let people know Punctuation Man is a superhero satire. I need to drop a ton of black on this thing. Heroes based on punctuation marks. I'm going to be releasing issue 1 on Ingram Spark to make it available to retailers and bookstores. Libraries. Issue 2 should be out in the... That is really cool, man. That's really cool. Did you have to do any crowdfunding or anything like that for that book? Yeah, I gotta get my copy so I can name drop you. Yeah, that's my homie Landon. We go way back. But that is really cool, man. And I wish you all the success in that book and the future. No, yeah. Mellows is that's my name, so that's so funny. Yeah, my name is Arts of the Round Table. I'm looking at this through a glare, and it's making it difficult to reach. I'm trying to use my monitors. Turn my face. He said, "Thanks. What's your name?" That is so funny. Yeah, Mellow's my name. If that is your real name, yeah. Yes. Uh, it's short for mellow. Ah, ain't I dumb? It's short for Melvin. It's short for Melvin, and because Melvin means wedgie, I'd rather be known as Mellow than a wedgie. But I appreciate that, man. I try to be. It takes too much effort sometimes to be a butthole, man. I guess you can call me Melvin. I guess I would prefer Mellow, quite honestly. You say you're not mellow. You're not mellow all the time. You can't be, cause I am. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I have terrible shoulder. I have a busted up rotator cuff. The fact that I drew that as straight as I did deserves a deserves a freaking medal. Oh my goodness. You had a nickname as Nerd before because in junior high you wanted to make a Nirvana woodcut in shop class, but I only had enough wood to make that. That's pretty good. Dude, shoulder, back, knees. I sound like a bag of chips being stepped on every time I move. I have a heating pad on my chair though. If we're gonna be bragging about being a bunch of geezers, I am trying to work on my posture, as we all should. I might have to wait for this stuff to dry just so I can get some texture going on. But I am using a reference of a reference, I'm sure. It's coming. I think I might have to paint a little bit of his freaking thumb so that don't look like it's floating in the void. Anyway, I might be overthinking. I'm definitely overthinking all of this stuff. I've been on it for a bit too long. It's gonna be the 2-hour mark, and I feel like I have not done as much as I wanted to. That's not you guys, that's me. That's a me problem. Do like his face. I'm gonna add, I think tomorrow I'm gonna add the shades for the eyes. I gotta figure out what color eyes I want to give him. And him. This green here is bothering me. I'm gonna fix that with some earthy yellow and some of that fire orange. I know it's not called fire orange. I need to go in here and fix the lines around his face because I lost it there. But it's going, it's moving. I think the last thing I'm gonna do, let me clean this brush. I am going to add some metallic sprinkles on breathlesses. On her dress. And that'll be the end of that for today. I will be back tomorrow morning, my morning, 10 a.m. I know it's an odd time, so if you guys can join, please do so and say what up. If you're not, that's quite all right. You can catch it on the rebreeze. It's all good, man. I don't sweat all of the stuff. I was having a hard time trying to like sweat the algorithm and sweat what's popular. Phooey to all that. Phooey to it all. I just want to draw. What'll be a nice color? I like that purple. I'm gonna use that. And I think it'll benefit from this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add some pearlescent white. I'm gonna point the mic towards the speaker for a little bit. I'm gonna thank you guys for hanging out with me. Yeah, man, and thank you for the company, for the questions. I don't know what was going on with the young person earlier. Some people, I gotta really get used to the internet and YouTube and being broadcasted all over the place. There's no boundaries sometimes, right? They be on some weird, interesting. I won't say weird. Interesting. Whatever. I don't know what the young lady was dealing with, if she was dealing with anything at all. I will make light if she is in need of something. But I don't know. Landon, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much for hanging out. I definitely gotta clean my water. Best of luck to you as well. You're gonna be getting some info from me for when I hit up your eBay page. But have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm gonna finish up some of this sparkly stuff. Enjoy the jazz if you listen to it, or with this funkadelic desert, whatever it is. And yeah, this is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you. I love you. Mean it. And until the next one. Enjoy you later. Bye-bye.